Hello again, beautiful people. You guys know how we like to kick it off, man. In order to take accountability for what has passed and what will be, there's no time like presently. So, for all of those with mouths and ears, can we have a moment of your time? We want to gain some perspective. Can we have a piece of your mind? What's going on,
Uh,
gentlemen?
what up? What
Hey,
up?
Frankie. Hector.
What's going on, y'all?
Man, you know what? The sun's been out in Connecticut. We've been having some consistently warm days, bro. And
Mm-hmm.
I tell you no lie, it's energizing, bro. I feel like I was built for the sun, bro. I
Hey,
really
okay.
do. Like, don't get me wrong. I like some gloomy days. I like when it rains, but for the most part, bro, the sun gives me life, yo.
Mm.
Gives me life, yo. Like wintertime comes and I really want to lounge, man. But now it's like I just got rid of my chair because I don't want to be sitting so much. ah,
I feel you on that. Summer do bring about a different energy for real. Like that's that phrase, this thing is in season kind of shit. And yeah, summer definitely does, feed something else that, winter just does not. It's just the truth to it.
Yeah, being from New England, being from Connecticut, I always considered myself to be like a four-season person, right? Like I used to like having four seasons, but I don't know if it's just getting older or what, but I feel like now I'm more of a warm weather person. I was talking to Frankie about this the other day. Like, I feel like, I'm more energetic. Like I'm more motivated to do things. Like my activity levels are higher. Like, I just, all in all, I feel like I would be better in a warmer climate majority of the time. I don't need snow.
yo,
I feel you.
I, I must say, man, I kind of like in the summertime. I kind of cause intentional discomfort, right? Like intentionally, I don't put an air conditioner in my room. Like, you know what I mean? I don't. I do that because I don't want to be that comfortable. I like during the day. I feel like I should be out shaking and moving. Like, you know what I mean? I've been getting to the park, getting to do some workout over there. Like, I've been getting up 4 o'clock in the morning consistently since I started doing Uber and Lyft, and now I've been finding jobs to go do even in between. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So it's I don't know, yo. The sun, man. I feel like it just makes me want to move. I don't want to sit still. Like, you know what I mean? I
I
want to
feel you.
move, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel you on that.
I've kind of acclimated being out here in Colorado, man, because weather out this way is a little intense, man. So like, when the snow hits, just because it's snowing doesn't mean we stay in and do nothing. Like shit, we'll pop the sleds out and we'll go find a nice hill somewhere and we go sledding with the kids. Make some fun out of it. Go
True.
outside in front and build a big ass snow fort. A couple of snowmen. Like we go and make the best of it. Um, with the fall, take a nice walk in the crunchy leaves and shit. Like that's my favorite. I love the fall.
Yeah,
Long sweaters and shit. Light jackets kind of thing. I'm all about that one. That's my favorite.
yeah.
Summer, hit the pool and shit.
You know what? I think I got to build up a tolerance, bro. Because I mean, but then again, I've been here long enough, man. Maybe it's just really time to experience something new, bro. Like,
Hmm.
I get it, and I do be trying. I like trying to make the best of something like what I have. But right now, I'm thinking about changing my environment. Like, you know what I mean? I want to
Hmm.
experience what does it feel like to have more heat than cold. Like for me, I like all 3 seasons, but winter time. But it's so crazy because when winter time come, I feel like it's the longest season.
Winter
Like yo,
does feel long. It really does.
winter time like Kendrick out here. You know what I'm saying? 3 versus 1, it don't even matter, yo.
Yeah, it does have that effect, bro. I agree with that. Because yeah, I think it's got mostly something to do with like, we got less sunlight, so it feels like it's a perpetual night. And then that
Hmm.
that that coldness, man, that cold lingers. You know what I'm saying? That shit sticks. And
Yeah,
so then, yeah,
winter
if you're,
definitely.
inside the house all day, man, yeah, it goes slow. You know, you're not
Yeah.
usually out and about killing your time by doing other things that are, you know, that create that kind of sense of activity, like going out working out outside or riding your bike. You know, those things take up time too. But your mindset is focused more on that. So in winter, you're at home. What am I going to do? What am I going to eat? You know, and you rinse and
Mhm.
repeat that cycle throughout the entire winter. So yeah, that shit feels like it's going in slow mo.
Yeah, winter definitely has that. It definitely has that effect. Like it creates that atmosphere. Like winter has its its good parts where like oh if you want to go outside enjoy the snow, play with the kids stuff like that. But like the sun sets a lot earlier. By like 5 o'clock, it's already dark outside.
Mhm.
So like it kind of gears. Your body sort of wants to settle earlier.
Yep. Yep.
And then like when it's cold, like you go to sleep, you wake up, it's freezing, you want to bundle up under your covers, you're not ready to get up.
Yep.
So it's like it definitely creates like the want to like hibernate. Like I call it like we be hibernating. I hibernate for sure. Like during the
Yeah.
wintertime, like I eat more. I'm inside the house. Like once it gets dark, I ain't going nowhere.
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
true.
I feel like you know what, but you know what? Maybe the big difference though is Hector actually got out of this environment. Like we've kind of created that right here in Connecticut over the years. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, wintertime's coming. Like, all right, time to pack your shit up and get in the house. Like, you know what I mean? Where Hector go over
Mhm.
there and like now they actually, is known for the mountains. They probably
Yep.
do things out there that's like pertains to like skiing and stuff like that. They make
Mhm.
wintertime exciting over there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I,
And I ain't no skier or snowboarder or anything. I don't do that shit. But out this way, yeah, people do that. So yeah, the winter season is actually probably the high point in Colorado, man. You see a lot of activity happening because all the resorts are open. The ski lifts are up and down the mountains all damn day, man. Like it's a big deal out this way. Um, so like that's a huge aspect is actually having shit to do in the winter is where you guys are, you can't get out on the water, you can't do none of that. You ain't got the mountains out that way, so it's just snow and cold, so yeah, why not stay in? Like what the hell, why else?
yeah.
Or time to catch up on some reading, some video games, watch some
Yep, yep,
movies, like all
yep.
the all
Yo,
the downtime activities.
Yeah.
complaining aside, right? I know winter serves its purpose, like everywhere, right? Because it's a great time for resetting. It's a great time for
Mhm.
like last year. Was it last year? Our winter wasn't that bad here in Connecticut. Like it was
Nah, it
like a
wasn't.
freaking warm ass winter. It was the best winter
Yeah,
ever.
we had a
But
few snows, just a
But
few.
when spring came, that shit was kicking everybody ass because the winter didn't come and clear out whatever allergies from last year. Whatever causes allergies from last year. So when spring came, it caused it to be worse out here in Connecticut. That's what I was hearing anyway. You
Mhm.
know, so
Mhm.
I know even like what I found out recently is like forest fires. Right, that's a form of like nature resetting itself. Where we used to think like forest fires were bad, we made Smokey the Bear and all
No,
that.
man.
Like after forest fires, Mother Nature grow right through it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It resets something like.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's cool because, like, on topic, off topic, Kate and I, we were, I think, like a couple of weeks back, we were talking about like how our backyard areas got, lots of like little dandelions. And she's like, they look really pretty. And I'm like, they do look really pretty. But, it's crazy that we consider them weeds. They're called weeds because they grow so quickly. They oversaturate any area they're in. And then, as soon as the wind blows, they're off to the next area and they're gonna reseed that whole area. So like, you were saying with like a forest fire, man, that's all it takes is for the wind to kick up and life is born again, because some seedling or something's going to be carried into that area and that shit will grow because it wants to. So it's like it's just wild how that shit ends up working out, man. Just
Yeah,
it just happens,
bro.
whether we want it to or not.
I, since you went left, I'm going left too, man. One of the most beautiful things to see is nature on fast forward, bro.
Oh
Like
yeah, I like
it,
that.
like I don't know when one of those come up on my feed or something like that, I get so captured, yo.
Mm-hmm.
I get so captured, like watch it. Like I seen that what I'm talking about, the forest catching fire and then life growing back in that forest. I've seen it on fast forward, bro. It's like,
Mm.
yo, Mother Nature is fucking unstoppable, yo. She on yo she and it's so crazy. She's so also like so how can you say it? Like, cause she gives, right? Like they just turned this building into a Chipotle over here in Fairfield, Connecticut, right?
Mm.
But prior to that, it was Joe's American Diner, and in between that, it just wasn't like during the pandemic, wasn't nobody occupying it, and it was so crazy because like while people were occupying it, it looked like people occupied it. It was no, the grass was on the outside of the building. I mean, keep blame that on maintenance or whatever, but when people stop occupying it, you start seeing vines, climbing up the damn thing and just attaching itself like it's just like Mother Nature taking it back. Like, oh,
Mm.
you guys ain't using this no more? All right.
Right, right.
I just think it's a dope thing, yo.
You see like moss covering,
Yeah.
like moss covers the buildings. They got like vines growing up, and like
I
don't
like
worry,
it
we
when
got
that
this.
happens.
Yeah,
I like seeing, like you see those movies like oh man, what was I Am Legend with Will Smith? That post apocalyptic, like Mother Nature's taking back everything. Um, I like seeing shit like that, man, because like how often do you hear the term the concrete jungle, right? Like every city is a concrete jungle, and it's true to some sense, man. There's
Yeah.
buildings of all shapes and sizes, towering over everything. And then what's Chernobyl and in Russia, where that nuclear reactor had went down, and then it was supposed to be uninhabited for what did they say, like 10,000 years or some shit. There's already wildlife taken back over, plant life taken back over, and it's cool seeing that shit, man. Because like it shows you that nothing is forever. Nature's gonna outlive us all, man. Like at the rate we're
yeah.
going, you know what I'm saying? But like it's
Hey,
cool
I
to
mean,
see
once
that
we're all
shit.
gone, they'll
Yeah,
they'll
it's
cry.
gonna just I've been watching this anime, man. I love watching anime. And I've been watching this one called Doctor Stone, and
Oh,
it's
Yo, I've been
okay, yeah.
watching that one too,
Mhm.
Hector. I'm on like episode 18, bro.
I'm like at 19. I think I'm like right there with you, bro. Yo, that show is cool because that's the same thing. The everything kind of not fast forwarded, but I mean essentially the storyline. Yeah, like Earth kind of reclaimed itself, and I'm not quite sure what caused what to happen in that show yet, but it's cool to see like people. You just live and keep going, man. You just keep moving. And a day at a
Yeah.
time, you kind of just make some progress, whatever it may be to whatever goal you seek. But nature really does do that. It just keeps operating, man. And I like me personally, man. Like everybody's like, what's the purpose of life? What people are always trying to figure out what life means and the meaning of it and all that. And I really just believe that life's purpose is just to prove that it can. You know what I'm saying? Like there is no reason. It just one day happened and now it's just going to keep going and that's it. And it's going to keep being beautiful kind of thing. And
You know what's crazy, Hector? I think it's just something in human beings, right? If I could picture like if it really went back to like a stone age like that, eventually we'll be right back here. Like it's just,
yeah, yeah,
we'll be right
eventually.
back here. You know what I mean? AI is
Yeah,
a new thing again. You know what I mean?
it'll take some time, but yeah, eventually
Yep.
Eventually.
get back up. That's like the game Horizon. If you ever play Horizon
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Zero
Oh
Dawn,
man,
yeah.
so good, so good.
Like basically
That's one of
everything
my favorite.
reset. Yeah,
Yep.
I love that game. Like the
And it was
world
cool, man.
basically had time to recover. It had time to recover.
Yeah,
Like
plenty
it,
in its own
yeah,
way.
humankind kind of like restarted. So it's like they're all primitive. They're like cavemen. The only person who could think like I guess on a logical level, like she understands the machines and everything is Aloy because
Yep.
spoiler, she's a clone of Dr. Elizabeth Sobek, who
The
created the
one,
Zero
yeah,
Dawn project. Yeah, so
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that game is incredible. And it was
yeah,
really cool too,
yeah,
to my surprise. Like when I was playing it, there were bits of it in Colorado. So like
yeah.
we have a famous, very famous amphitheater out here called Red Rocks, and that's where they hold like a lot of concert venues.
Yeah.
And in that game, Red Rocks was in there. There was like one of those little viewpoints where it was Red Rocks, and I was like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
shit, like that's so dope. And yeah, but like when you think about it, like that concert venue is literally just up in this little mountain town, and it is surrounded by giant red rocks. You know what I'm saying? That's what they called it, Red Rocks, and it's like a cool ass venue because it's the modern day still mixed with nature, and it's so dope, man. It's an experience to be out that way, man. Like
No, sound like we
every
got
concert
somewhere to
I've
stop when we come to Colorado, man.
Yeah.
every time I've gone to a concert out there, it's been one of the best concerts I've ever been to, man. That place is dope. But yeah, it's because that connection with nature and the modern day, man. I was just having a conversation with one of Kate's coworkers, man. Like that's really one of the things lacking nowadays is just that willingness for connection. Be it to the world around you, be it to yourself, be it to somebody else, man. We are lacking real heavy on that connection, and like that's kind of the downfall to a lot of it. We're always chasing the next thing. We're always chasing something else. We're always not where our feet are, kind of shit, man. And that ends up just running us in circles, kind of shit. And that's killing it, man. That's killing us all right now. Like we gotta lock the hell in. You know what I mean? And ain't enough of us doing that shit, man.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I do appreciate. My bad. I was gonna say that's one thing I do appreciate, like with like the changing of the seasons, like when you go from like winter to spring to summer, like you get to see like the phases. You see like the new growth, the flowers coming to bloom, and things like that. Animals that may have hibernated or flown south, they're coming back. You start hearing birds chirping, or you see bees buzzing around. Like, it's just small things like that. Like, when you take a moment, it's just like, you watch and you get to appreciate, you take it in, you appreciate it. Like, that's one thing. Like, I'm just driving around today, doing Uber Eats deliveries, and I'm just, observing like some of the things that, that's going on around me. Like, I found like, there's like some little community that I delivered to in Milford. Didn't even know it existed. Right, the place reminded me of if you ever saw the movie like Pleasantville, with Tobey Maguire. I forgot who else is in that movie, but it's like it looked like a suburb out of like a movie. Like it's very beautiful. Like all the houses, they had like this in the middle of it. There's like this tall tree.
You know
Like
what, B? I'm sorry. I'm sorry to sidetrack you real quick, but that is one of the since I started driving Uber and Lyft, man. It's like now I'm getting to see more of Connecticut. I am starting to see more beautiful Connecticut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've been to this place and I was driving by. It was a little bridge. It had like a little fucking one of them wheels that spilled the water. I'm like, what the fuck?
All
Where
the
the hell
water
am I?
wheels.
I'm still like,
Oh yeah, windmill. I mean, no, watermill. Yeah.
yeah, like it had a watermill. I'm like, am I still in virtual economy? What the fuck am I? But I'm sorry,
That's
you were
dope.
saying, B?
Oh yeah, no, and I was just like admiring like that little is like a gated community. Well, I guess it kind of was a gated community, but you could just drive right in. There's no there's no lift gate, nothing like that. But like, I'm just like looking around and I'm just seeing like how well it's been kept up with all the trees, like all the plants and everything seems so intentional, but at the same time, like, it still had that essence of like nature to it. Like, even though like, you could tell there's a human intervention there.
Right,
Like,
Brian was on a damn reservation. They didn't even know it, man.
yeah, I was like, yo, this is so cool. Like, I was waiting for the person to, to come get their delivery, and I'm just looking around, and I was like, yo, this is a real nice place. Like, I don't see no litter on the ground.
Cool.
There's like trees everywhere, different plant bushes and things like that. Like, it was just real nice to look around. I was like,
That's
oh, I
one
like
of them
this
places
place.
Rick was looking for in Walking Dead.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. I just had a zombie dream the other night, bro. Like, it was crazy because like I wasn't even scared, man. Like I was in control. It was me and somebody else. I don't even know who the hell I was with, man. But like I remember just running down this tunnel or something, and then suddenly I was in a house that was like boarded up, and we're getting ready to hunker down and like fight these things off. But like I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel panic. Like I felt very in control, man. That was a cool feeling to like know that something was coming at me, but like I'm good. I got this. It was a dope ass little dream. Fucking Walking Dead, man. I like zombie shit. Zombie shit is fun.
Yeah, you know what, Hector, man. Man, we really gotta get you moving on one of your books, man. I need to see one of these in action, an animation or something, man. A cartoon
Yeah,
short
yeah,
or something, man.
yeah. Kate and I was talking about that shit just last night, man.
I think
Like,
it's a good time, man.
yeah, it's something that needs to happen with that for sure. I definitely want to get that going, man. That's yeah. It's a dream. It's a dream right now. I gotta just put it into action for real.
Hey, hey, Brian, man. I'm pretty sure where you was driving at earlier, they didn't have to deal with none of this. These sirens going
Nah,
off when you drive.
nah, I ain't see no fire trucks, no cop cars, nothing. They probably
Oh
had them
man,
around somewhere.
they like just right there out your
That's
door,
what it
huh?
seemed like, but it's
Oh man.
trying to wait for them to die
Yeah,
down over here. Let me put me on mute.
Damn. Nah, they gonna leave that up on there for a minute. It's wild. I got this big ass spider in my room right now. And I'm watching him and I'm like, he's
Is
scary.
it
He's a
yellow?
scary ass. Nah, he's all black.
Oh, yo, Hector, yeah, I was just hearing something about
Oh,
like
he's fast.
a spider
Ooh.
invasion, bro.
Hold on. I gotta take care of
they
that
got
spider. Yeah, that thing is way too big.
Yeah, nah, we was just hearing about like a spider invasion out here too. Remember, B?
yeah, some kind of black and yellow spider with like each leg is like 4 inches long and it could
Yeah, I
fly. I'm
think it
like,
said the females will get up to like 4 inches long or some shit like that. Yeah,
yeah, I'm like, sound like some kind of fictional like.
I'm like, yo, what kind? I'm thinking in my head
Oh,
like, what the hell is going on here, man? All these
and
invasive species before just a little while ago.
they're
I think,
venomous too.
huh?
So they're venomous too.
Oh, it's
They're
still alive.
venomous. They could fly,
Yeah, I heard. I
and their
think I
legs are
heard that
like
their
four
venom is
inches.
not super dangerous to humans.
I don't know. Venom is venom.
Venom is venom.
Yeah, you might get sick for a while or something at the very least. I
That
ain't
could
trying
just
to
go to
find
have a
out.
round too.
Yeah, I guess spider's more resilient than the dog.
Yes.
I
Oof.
mean,
Spider. Yeah. I don't. Oof. I'd see, and we got a rule at the house. Like, if it's a spider, like in the kitchen or in the living room or something, fine. You know what? It's probably helping us out. But when you're in one of the bedrooms, you gotta go, bro. You don't pay rent here. You can't
that's
be in the
kind of
bedrooms.
funny. That's kind of funny because I have like a similar rule too. Like for the most part, I'll let the spider rock. Like if he's not like hovering over my bed or something like that, fine, no problem. But
Yeah.
like once you're like in my personal space,
Yeah.
I'm
You gotta
sorry,
go.
you gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta go. I know. I'm
like
not a big fan of killing them, man, either. But like, I
yeah. For the
just.
most part, I'll ignore spiders. Yeah, if you're some other bug like a fly or a roach or something, yeah, you got to die. But like
Yep.
spiders, I tend to let them be, because most likely they'll take care of those other bugs for us
Exactly, the
anyway.
little
So
I
pests and
want.
shit. Yep.
it's like a partnership.
Yeah, yeah,
I want to know
exactly.
what's going on, man. There's been a whole bunch of invasive species coming in lately, man. Last year it was something that looked like a ladybug. This year these damn spiders. What is going? Is somebody like doing some kind of insect warfare on us right now?
Man,
Is
shit.
that what's
A
going on?
couple years
We
Yo,
ago,
yo, they're saying these things could come and it like changes. It changes things. It changes your normal. Like you know what I
Yeah, I
mean? They
do.
come and
Yep.
your other predators. They come and kill all of them. Like you know what I mean? They throw off
yeah,
everything you know.
No, it really does.
yeah, that's why it's
We
not cool. Like to mess with wildlife, they could destroy. You know, they could destroy an entire ecosystem if
oh
they go
yeah,
unchecked.
it sure
So
can.
like certain things, they're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to introduce them to you know
Is it
new
really destroying it
environments.
though?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, it
like
can.
they
It's
It
could
can
just
have
upset the
destroyed.
changing it
ecosystem.
as we know it.
No, they could straight up destroy it.
I
Yeah,
mean, we was just
like
talking about Mother Nature bouncing back through everything, though, right?
Yeah, no, but
like
it would like disrupt.
locusts.
It would disrupt the balance. Like
Yeah.
say
Yep.
if there's say there's uh, um a species of hornet or something that kills all the honeybees or whatever. Now those bees can't pollinate the flowers, so now the bees are dying and the flowers are dying, right? So
hmm
it just starts throwing everything off.
Yep. No, that's true.
You know that's funny though, right? Because as human beings, we're the only ones that really disrupt the flow of nature. So what if we're really the
Oh
ones
yeah,
throwing everything off? What
Yeah, we
if
do
we're
do
really the
that.
ones throwing everything off, huh?
yeah. I mean that probably never not be the case, right? Like
We're over here talking about we're over here talking about things are out of order, and nature's like you're out of order. No,
yeah,
you're out of order.
We're in the
bro.
season for miller moths. So it's like it's a moth. It's just a breed of moth. But out here in Colorado, every year, like right at the end of spring, beginning of summer, we get an invasion of them, and there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them. Like you could be at a stoplight and they'll crash into your window, just because there's so many of them. You'll see a few of them while you're driving, just because there's so many.
That reminds
And
me of
there's
like one of the first episodes of was One Punch Man
mm,
with, with the strong flies. Go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
But like it's cool. Like when that happens, it's cool because it's a moth, but and they're harmless. They're I wouldn't really call them a pest, but I don't like the way they fly, so they're kind of pests to me. But
I don't like the way you fly, dog. Get out.
but we have like our birds, all the bird population, like they really feast on them, like, and so you'll see, like, you come up to a stoplight and you'll see dozens of birds swooping down because they're eating the miller moths. They're catching their prey, and it's cool, man, because like you see the birds on high activity, because of all these moths, and it's just wow. Because we were just talking about like how you were saying, Brian, like an infestation or something, it can upset a balance. But we have all these birds. We have lots of crows. We have what are they called? I can't even remember what they're called. They have like a white and a bluish tail. They're asshole birds, but they feast on
Okay,
them.
I think I know what you're talking about because we have those here too,
Yeah,
and
I can't
they'll attack the crows.
attack people. They'll
Yeah,
attack anything. They're very territorial. They're very very interesting breed of bird. But you see them kind of come out and just eat, like, feast, and we have natural predators here, so like the wildlife here kind of keeps itself in check. And it's pretty cool because like not only the birds, we have a shit ton of birds, but we also have lots of hawks and lots of owls, and it's kind of cool, man. Wildlife out this way, and the further you go away, the more you see too. So to kind of go back to what you guys were talking about earlier with the changing of the seasons and shit, man. Like you get to witness that a lot, like out in the mountains and shit, you know, in the plain areas. Like you get to see a lot of that. You see, like I remember one time we went out to one of these rivers out, and I saw a beaver. I saw like a real life beaver for the first time with my eyes, and I was like, I'm looking at it, and the little thing is just laying in the water on its back, right? And there's people in tubes. There are people in tubes, but in front of him and behind him, and he's just in line, just going down the river, and so are the people next to him. I'm like, yo, he's just chilling, dude. Like, what? Like, nature is just really out here doing what it does, man. It was funny as shit to see that. But like the first time I see a beaver in my life, he's in line going down a river, and other people are too. Like, it's just the funniest shit.
Never
Dude.
want to run into the beaver's cousin, the otters. Okay.
The otters. What's wrong with the otters?
Aren't those big, them big looking beavers that be jumping? You get in the water next to it, they be jumping everything next to it.
Oh man, I don't even know.
Alligators, everything are afraid of them things in the water, yo.
Shit, damn. I always seen videos of otters, and I thought they're fucking cute as hell, man.
Yeah,
That's a cute little animal.
They're pretty cute. They're playful too.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know. I guess if you have a group of them, I don't know.
Nah, they gang. Okay?
They get what?
Yeah,
they gang.
Right.
They're kind of like little river dogs.
Yo, the nastiest creatures don't mess with them in the river, bro. The nastiest ones don't mess with them in the river, bro.
I don't mess with nothing in the water, man. The water ain't for me, man.
Nah, you know what? I want to start going fishing, yo. That is actually something I want to do, yo. Like I want to go catch a big fish. I'm gonna be one of the guys holding up the fish. Yeah, I caught this one right here, son. Hey. I need to do that one time. Just a hook. Just a freaking string, years. Bro. That's it.
I went fishing a couple times when I was younger, man. And it's been a long time. But yeah, that'd be dope to do that again. That'd be real dope to do that. Like it was crazy when I was in Florida, man, with my parents and my grandparents. Like I saw a lot of people fishing, man. There's so many different little bodies of water everywhere you go. And like, I swear, every time we went to the store, every time we went to go get gas in the car, whatever we was doing outside, anytime we drove, we saw somebody fishing. Like it is a thing down there, yo. It's kind of cool, man. I'd be willing to try that shit and see what's up.
I think Florida's where I need to be, man.
Dude, this spider is still alive. How?
Round 3.
Round 3.
God damn, he ain't alive no more.
He ain't alive no more. Jeez.
How's just that major pain? Charlie in there?
Yeah. He ain't happy.
If he in there, he ain't happy.
Yeah, man, I love that movie, man. We must have watched that shit a million times, yo.
Word.
Oh man, that movie's too
still
good.
In there, he ain't happy.
Sheesh. Yo, so I was watching an episode with y'all too, that you guys did when I was down in Florida, man. I thought that episode was dope as hell. Like y'all carried it well, man, and y'all brought up something that was kind of cool. Y'all talked about like a book or something that like really changed your opinion, like changed, you know, like something you think about or the way you think about something. And that shit I was like, oh man, that's cool, like a cool thing. And like immediately I thought like, yo, it's something. I didn't read a book, but it was a movie. But the movie that did it for me was like The Matrix.
Oh.
Like that shit opened my mind, thinking like, oh man, like, you know, simulation life, you know, life as it is. You know, are we really just part of the bigger machine kind of shit? Like, you know, what are we doing as a people, as an individual? And I know that movie made me really think, because I've watched all 3 of them probably like a dozen times each, at least, just to really understand the concept and really grasp what was being said, man. And I thought that shit was crazy, because like going back to the whole thing about human connection, You know, like thinking about that movie, you know, you're connected to this machine and then you just serve the purpose of the machine. You live your life connected to this thing and it consumes you, and that's that. But then those that are unplugged in the abstract way, they get to see the reality of it all. You know, they get to see the real beauty behind it all. And the beauty behind it is, you know, what we're able to make of it. You know, yeah, you're living fucking 100 miles underground, but it's still beautiful because you got beautiful people around you, kind of shit. And the reason I bring that up, man, is because, like, you know, I've been doing a lot of reflection these past couple weeks, man.
Beautiful thing.
And reflection, like my reflection, you know, in a very literal way, you know, when I look in the mirror, I look at me, but I also look for the kid that's in there too. And you know, I'm kind of like in a good place right now, man. Like, you know, kind of grieving my grandfather in a healthy way, and just kind of taking that experience, man, because it was an experience, you know. Like, I gave him his final shave, you know. He wanted a shave, and I was able to do that for him. And you know, I was able to talk to him, one of the last people to talk to him before he wasn't able to talk anymore. And so, you know, that experience had me reflecting on a lot of my life right now, man, and just kind of where I'm at. July 1st, here in a couple of weeks, is going to be my 5th year anniversary at my job. You know, Peace of Your Mind just celebrated 1 year. Like, I had a lot of things to reflect on, man, like all in just kind of one bunch. And it's beautiful, man. Like, it's kind of cool to see like where I was 5 years ago, where I was 1 year ago, and how I can compare it to where I am today, because I've given myself plenty of staples to look back towards, kind of different checkpoints, you know? And it's cool, man, because like I feel like I'm really proud of myself, man, and then I can talk to someone and share that with someone and get that, you know, that same exciting and potent energy, man. And that shit is, you know, that was accumulation of all sorts of things, man. But like the podcast being one of them, you know, changing my lifestyle several years back was one of them, and kind of just having more goals, you know, more things to aspire towards. And it's been dope, man. So yeah, just reflection, yo. Reflection is so powerful, such a powerful thing, man. I
Man,
suggest, you know, anybody out there watching, and do that, reflect.
hey, if you guys are enjoying what you're hearing, you guys want to join in, you know, you guys are always happy. We're always happy to see a comment, like, subscribe, find us on Piece of Your Mind podcast on all your favorite platforms. So, you know what, Hector, man? I'm glad you brought that up, bro. You know what? I've been reflecting a lot too, man, and I feel like I didn't really have a choice but to go into some reflection after the events, the grieving, and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know one of your grandfather's last wishes was to for his death to be celebrated, and you know I want to mention that happened. Okay, his death was celebrated. I
Mm-hmm.
heard it. It was joyous. Um, but I couldn't help but to reflect. Heck, you know what I mean? I reflected on that man because I've known him for a lifetime. Y'all, I learned, like, I'm 37, bro. I met him when I was like 8, right?
Yeah, we was
And
yeah.
it made me realize, like, okay, reflecting on my life, the power of reflection. When I reflect on my life, your life is a movie. Your actions are a movie. You know what I'm saying? The actions you take or don't take is what you know. Day by day, it feels like nothing, but over the long
Mm.
run, it's a movie. And yo, when I think about Jose, man, that was a man of action. Yo, the things I can say this man consistently did, he consistently did it. You know what I mean? And it
Mm.
speaks value to the impact that he's created. You know what I'm saying? And it's making me. It makes me want to act more. You
Mm.
know what I mean? I'm ready to get into this mode of action. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like, I don't want to talk. Like I barely want to talk about it no more. Like, I want to be about it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And because when it's all said and done, like, yo, listen, I gotta go at some point. You know what I mean? And if I know I have to go, like, and it's just gonna come eventually, well, like, if I know I can do something about what story is gonna be told about me, I want to do something. You know what I mean? I don't think nobody's gonna say nothing bad to me about me to this point, but like, yo, if I could be more impactful than that, then I want to. I want to. Why not? I'm here.
I feel
You
you.
know? I don't know.
So
That the
so
reflection for me has been a powerful thing, and it makes me want to move, bro.
I like it. So from that episode, you know, when you guys were you guys recorded. So one of our followers, one of our viewers shared 3 different books that kind of opened up and shaped, you know, her perception of things. And so one of them, I'm going to just name them off real quick. One of them was Journey to Ixtlan, The Lessons of Don Juan. And that's a story by Carlos Castaneda. Probably pronouncing that incorrectly. Another book.
You have a short summary?
I didn't pull one up. I'm just looking right at the comment. I'm just kind of looking at the comment itself. Another book was The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. The Four Agreements is a good one, man. Yeah, that's a popular one. That's a really good one. I love the one Be Impeccable with Your Word. That one is it's just too good. Be impeccable with your word is one of the 4 agreements. And then
Be impeccable with your words.
This one, she says it was an audio book, but still she listened to it, and it was a book called All Our Wrong Todays. And that's a book by Elon Mastal. All Our Wrong Todays. So those, you know, just from y'all episode, those are just 3 books that were kind of brought up in comments that helped change someone's perception. Some gave them some good feedback, gave them some good thoughts and things to work with. So that's cool, man. But I was so into that, when y'all brought that up, man. I was just like, oh shit, like thinking of all the things. Like I could remember going back to being in school and reading the Odyssey for the first time and the Iliad, and my imagination, bro, went ham. Like it blew open. And I was like, whoa, like, we're talking about, monsters and men in old times. You know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit. Like, how cool is that? We're gods and goddesses and all this crazy shit. Like my mind opened up so much, for that level of creativity. With those books by Homer.
You know what, man? Yeah. Any young person who finds a book interesting for real or might be able to, like, don't shut it out, because I'm gonna tell you, when I reflecting on who I was, bro, I was very close-minded, bro. I remember those book titles only by the name, and the fact that they annoyed the hell out of me that they was trying to make me read this shit. I ain't reading. I don't want to read this. Like, and I couldn't get into any of them. Like, my imagination didn't work. But like, as far as your imagination, like with the Matrix, bro, those people that put these movies together, bro, those people that put these movies together, the concepts, the things, the way they tell stories, even like Avatar, that speaks to a lot of people. I know I mentioned before the movie Soul by Disney, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, heck, man, that might be your gift, man. You're ignoring it still, man. You know what I mean? That might be your gift, man.
I really have been, man.
They hey, Kendrick's an artist, bro. I say he's an artist because not just it's his words, but do you see how he put his videos together? Like, do you see how he puts a puzzle within his words? Like, you know what I mean? You know how to do all that. You could do that, Hector. You need to be doing that, man. Somebody waiting to see it.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I am.
Shit. What was that anime dude that just passed away? He passed away.
Akira.
Talking about Toriyama?
Yeah, he passed away, and then the people that was inspired by him all came up to speak about him, bro, and they are now producing, like, amazing animes for today. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's somebody waiting to see what you got, heck, man, so they could grow on. It might be Aiden. Who knows, man?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
We just gotta. Sometimes we just gotta play our part, yo. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I feel
Walk
you
in
on
our
that.
purpose. That's what they say, right?
That's what they say. Yeah, it's a goal for sure. It's a goal for sure. I have been sleeping on it, man. That's the crazy thing, bro. Life be life, and you know that shit just keeps coming, keeps happening, man. And then we
Yeah.
fall into that, you know, and then we use it as an excuse. Like
Mhm.
that shit is wild, man. It's
Yeah,
a wild
you know,
ride
Hey,
for
and
sure.
it's an easy thing to do, you know.
hey, man. Let's
Like,
Hmm.
challenge each other real quick, man. They gave us 3 books to go off of, yo. Let's all pick one. Let's all pick one and let's read. Let's go through it together, man. Let's listen to it together, man.
That'd be dope.
Um, I don't know if over here in Connecticut we got this app. It's called Hoopla, and as long as you
Hoopla?
have your library
Yeah.
card, you can use like the audio books up there for free. So let's
Mhm.
go up there and see which ones they got, man. Let's have something to talk about the next time we come on for that
Yeah.
viewer. You know what I mean? That'll be fun. It'd be a nice challenge. Let's talk about how it opens our mind this time, B. You know what I mean? What did we gain from it this time? I think that'll be a fun. I think that'll be a dope experiment, yo.
yeah, no, that would definitely be pretty cool, you know. Whichever one we decide to pick, or if we all, take one each, we could do that too.
Mhm.
You know, that way we could, we can read it, do like a little review, something like that. You
Oh,
know,
right.
and talk about, what we got out of it. Like, what are some of the themes that were recurring, or, some of the subject matter that, that spoke to us. That would be something that's interesting. That's like, when I was in school, I didn't really like doing assigned readings either. I used to
Mhm.
kind of, I used to kind of like skim through
Yeah.
the stuff and like
Hmm.
basically just wing it. Like eh, when it's time, we go to class and we have like group
It's
discussion
still
or
get a B
whatever.
plus.
I'll just wait. Yeah, I'll just wait for a few people to speak, and then I would form my opinions based on whatever they talked about. But one
Oh
book
man.
that
Kind
actually
of Kakashi
did,
copycat ninja.
one book that actually did have my attention was The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. That was a really good book. I don't know if you read
Mm.
that one, but
Mm-mm.
yeah, it's called The Alchemist.
The
Okay.
Alchemist.
Yeah, that's a good read. Like, and a lot of the things that happen in the book, like, it, I don't know, it's like just like simple decisions that the main character decided to make, our protagonist, like, and like, you follow him on this journey, and like, you get to see how it unfolds. It's just a really, I like the story. It's a really good story.
Yeah.
The Alchemist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Alright.
I had that on one of my lists. I don't think I gave it a listen yet, but it popped up on one of my lists. The Alchemist. I'll check it out.
Yeah, listen to that one if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been, my thing is like I've never been an avid book reader. But there are a few that stand out. Just over time, periods of time that I might have managed to get my hands on them. Um, some classics like Flowers for Algernon,
Okay, yeah, I remember that one.
like, Mice and Men. Like there's just a bunch of them that do
Yeah,
stand out over time. But I've always, found myself like while I was lucky enough that, we grew up in the era of Goosebumps. And those
Oh
books,
yeah.
even though they were written stories, they were written very well so that we could see what was happening. And then we had the show to accompany it. And that was my biggest attraction. Like, oh shit, they took this book. I read this book. And now this book is a show? Like, are you kidding me? And then I became attracted to that. Like, oh shit, that's where I prefer the show more than the book, because I know with the book, it's cool, and it's the way the story was intended to be, with all the little nitty gritty details. But with the show, well, shit, you only got 30 minutes. You only got an hour. You got time slots. So how much of this are you going to be able to condense and still deliver? And I've always found that to be attractive to see how they managed to pull that off. Because kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier with The Walking Dead and Rick, that story, like that's a long ass story, but then it's also a long ass show too. The series has gone on for several seasons. It's very popular, very, cult following now. Like that shit has got a huge following. And that's cool, man. I like seeing that. I like seeing something so simple like Harry Potter. Harry Potter, a famous book, blew up, became a movie, became so much more than just a storybook. And like I
Yeah.
love that. I like seeing that shit get integrated into society the way it did, man. That's cool.
What's kind of dope. I would imagine like the person who made Harry Potter, right? Like, although having the visual is dope, and I feel like you could learn a lot from like through visuals. You could learn a lot, like, you know what I mean. It's just something you get from it that you can't just from the imagination, but vice versa, right?
Mm.
I would imagine like the lady who wrote Harry Potter, she probably was an avid reader, right? And she
Oh yeah.
practiced with her imagination, seeing these things in her imagination for a long time, right? So much so that it built up to this point where, like, when she got to put it on the big screen, like, it's so fascinating and captivating to watch for other people. Like, it's almost like she must have been storing it for years. Like, you know what I mean? Just the imagery in her head.
Mm.
It had, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she had anything to do with like how the spells and stuff went off or whatever. But I can imagine it. Anybody who reads, who prefer reading and capturing it in their head, I would just imagine that they would be somebody who are like more, how can I say it? Their imagination just works a little better, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? Because
Mm.
it's almost practice, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a cool challenge too, because when you, like, let's say for you as the author, you might cast a spell, and when you cast the spell, it might be a certain color in your head. You're thinking of a certain kind of purple or maybe a blue, And so, but when you write it in the book, you don't necessarily say that sometimes, so it's open for interpretation. People are allowed to create what they want. And so that kind of drives your imagination a little more, because then you got to try to paint your own picture. You know what I'm saying? Here, you got the sketch, but now you got to go paint this shit. And that's a fun interaction for the reader, the viewer, to kind of be able to do. And then you have your own idea of what it is, what it sounds like, and then the series comes out, and then the author or the writers, they all agree this is the way it should be. And then you're like, oh, that was the way I was thinking it. That's so dope, like it. It's just a
It's
really
crazy.
fun
I
thing.
just realized I'm talking to this guy down here who was like an artist over here, and he used to draw cartoons and stuff. And you talk about writing cartoons and you written stories and stuff like that. And Brian written stories too. I remember him and a cousin of mine was working on like their own anime series like a long time ago. I
Oh
remember,
yeah.
man. And I guess now I get to kind of see how like you explaining that kind of tells me how your brain works a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? That's not how I put things together. Like, not at all. Neither one of the ones you're talking about. Like, you know what I mean? But it's dope. It's really dope to hear that perspective, man.
Yeah,
How,
I was lucky in some ways, man, being an only child, like when I wasn't with my cousins or I wasn't with you guys, I was at home with me, like, and I had, I had to be imaginative. I had to be creative. I had to keep myself entertained, man. And so, yeah, I was very extra. Like, I remember, man, like even simple things like singing a song, like, I've been listening to Linkin Park again lately. And I love Linkin Park, man. Like when I was first introduced to them, that shit opened my mind big, man. But listening to Linkin Park, like I would listen to the song and I would like paint my own fucking music video. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have this like I always wanted to associate some sort of visual with what I was reading or with what I was hearing. I always wanted that visual with it, man. Um, and like it's just the thing my brain does, bro. Like it has to do that for whatever reason. I have to have the visual. And so that's why I could sit my ass down and watch 13 hours of something and be completely entertained way more than I would be reading that same thing for 13 hours in a book. Like I would rather watch the visual. And I don't know. Like it's some good and some bad. You think
You know
of
what, Hector? Since we got into like content creation, like I feel like I could get creative when I'm like on the app, like you know what I mean. Like thinking prior to is not really my thing, but like if I'm like watching it and then I say something like that makes me think of something, I'm like, oh, let me go grab that little cartoon character and I throw him up there, like you know what I mean.
yeah.
Like I could work like that, but like free, like just freeing off the head, or even like reading it in the book, it doesn't turn my imagination on like that. I don't know.
Mhm.
I think I probably has a lot to do with me being lazy in that capacity. That's how I feel anyway.
Hmm.
But that's
I
just like
feel
when I'll
you.
be watching Japanese anime. Like I stopped watching it in Japanese because I no longer want to read while I'm
Oh
watching a
man,
cartoon. Like it's too much work.
I
You
love
know what I'm
it.
Well, I don't
saying?
know. For some reason, I like
I like
listening
it.
to like the Japanese dub while
Yep.
reading the subtitles. That's like I was playing Ghost of Tsushima. The whole game
Oh,
it
you
takes
did that
place
in
in Japan.
yeah.
Yeah, so like I was just I was playing the whole game in Japanese,
It's the
like,
Japanese,
and
yep.
then
So you can
I'm
hear how it was delivered. Yeah.
yeah, I'm playing the game, and I realized that the voice of Jin Sakai in Japanese, that's the same guy who does the voice of Zoro on One Piece. So
Oh
that made me
shit!
enjoy. Yeah, that
I
made me
didn't
enjoy
know
it even
that.
more.
I did not know that. That's dope.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this is Zoro.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, now I'm
Dude,
definitely playing it in Japanese.
dude, Ghost of Tsushima. That's one of my top 3 favorites ever. Yo,
Yeah, I
that
love
is
that
a
game.
masterpiece, dude. The visuals, the sounds, the voice actors, everything was beautifully architected, man. That shit,
Mm-hmm.
it is a masterpiece. Oh my god, I love that story.
I
I
can't
love
wait for the
that.
sequel
Nah,
whenever they
nah.
Dude,
decide to put that
I only
out.
got to
oh
enjoy through
man.
that son. I only got to enjoy through visual too. I catch Brian playing every now and then, but it did look like a
Yeah,
dope game.
it's
Oh
so
yeah,
good,
the
bro.
swordsmanship, like they did a lot of research on like the different sword stances and
Yep.
everything like that. Like they definitely they went hard on that game.
And I love how they kept it like very traditional too, with samurai tradition and lore, and like they didn't break away from that. Like, honor had to be intact kind of shit, man. It was so dude, they did so good. So damn good on that game. That was a living story, is what that was. That shit was fun, man. And I'm excited for the sequel too. I'm all over that shit when it comes out for sure. For sure.
Bro, yeah, no, I definitely had a lot of fun with that game. Just riding around on my horse, like what I mean, going from different settlement, like
Yep, yep.
freeing people and fighting Mongols and shit.
Yep. And we talked about this game a little while back, but it's very similar to the sense of Assassin's Creed. You've got this
Mm-hmm.
world that's kind of open for for you to play in, you to progress in. You do have a goal, but you can approach that goal as you see fit, and that shit's cool, man. I love those kinds of games that allow you, the player, to feel like you are the main character. You feel like you get to step into these characters' shoes and live their life, make their choices, kind of shit. And that's a really fun interactive story.
That's
It's a
what
damn
makes it
good
hard
story.
for people. That makes it hard for the individual to pull away, man. We'd rather live that damn fantasy, man.
And for real, and
Yeah.
and it came out, it came out during COVID, so it was like, perfect time to just sit down, play, enjoy the game,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
because like before 2020, like I had taken like a long hiatus from video games. I don't really play nothing. Then
Mm.
Ghost of Tsushima came out,
Yeah. All over
and
it.
then the same year Final Fantasy VII remake came out. I was like, oh god, I'm back, I'm
Yep.
back.
Yeah.
That shit
Horizon.
sucked me right back
Some
in.
cyberpunk. Woo.
Yeah.
Some yeah. Wow, man.
Yeah, I played. Yeah, I played Horizon during that time. I was like, yo,
Yep.
how did I not play this in 2018? I was like,
Right.
yo, this game is
Oh man.
sick.
Yeah, Brian
I
did go
love
on a long hiatus, man.
Yeah, same for me, man. Like I was just talking with Kate about it, man. Like I'll play my video game, but I never committed to it. Like I would play like 30 minutes here and there, a couple times a week. but I never sat down for 2-3 hours and kind of shit. And I only recently I just kind of got back with my boys and we started doing it. It's been healing for me, man. I've been loving it.
Yeah.
But like I've been doing that and it's just been feeling good, man. Like shit, I'm getting to relive these stories, you know, these stories that I get to share with, you know, whoever I'm playing with at the time, whether it be something a single player for me or it's a living story and I'm playing online with my boys. Like, you know, we often forget that, yeah, we're playing the video game, but like this is a story. This was a fully written story. There was an entire staff dedicated to writing it. There was an entire staff dedicated to creating the storyboard around it. There was an entire staff pulling it all together kind of shit. So it's like, it's cool, man, because like, could you imagine being one of those people on that team and then the success of what, you know, whatever it is you got out there, you managed to be a part of this creation like that. That's such a cool ass thing, man.
Yeah.
And so I respect those studios that create those kinds of masterpieces, man. That shit is just, it's fun entertainment. It's harmless and fun entertainment for real.
Word.
Yeah, it reminds me of a story. I might have mentioned it here, but you know, a guy basically he was it was a Reddit post. He was talking about how Assassin's Creed like saved his life. Basically, you know, he was thinking
I
about,
remember you telling me about that.
yeah, you know, he had the date planned and everything, and I think he said his mom bought him the game. I forget which Assassin's Creed it was. It might have been like Brotherhood or something like that, and like, you know, like he totally forgot about his plan. Like that shit went to the wayside, and like, you know, he'll never forget how like that game changed his life. So he has a tattoo, you know, of the Assassin's Creed logo.
Hey, okay.
Thank you, Sean.
Hey, we talked about a book that changed our perspective. It was a video game for that guy. That's dope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like,
cool.
you know,
You know,
so I think he shared his story with like, you know, the developers too, but like, you know, something like that, you know, you're creating a medium, you know, a source of entertainment for people. You know, you might not even go into it thinking that, you know, the story
you're
that
saving
you
somebody's
wrote,
life.
yeah, it could save somebody's life, you know. So you know, I thought that was deep. Like that was a beautiful thing. I was like, wow, like, you know, a lot of these people, they're more impactful than they may even realize they are.
Realize,
Word.
absolutely.
Big fact.
That's such a beautiful thing, man. That's so dope. That's so dope. It's connection, man. It's connections. They're there, man. We just, you know, we got to be willing to look for them anywhere, everywhere.
Yeah.
That shit is, they're available, man, for all of us, you know. So
Yeah.
I love it.
So guys, man, we're creeping up. Well, we passed our hour now. But I have exciting news to share before we go, guys. We are calling it a conclusion for season 1. This is going to be officially our last episode for season 1. We're going to take a break and, you know, rebuild, revamp. You know, we planted the seed, and now we're gonna now we're gonna take some time to water it. You know what I mean? Behind the scenes, instead of working in the business, we're gonna work on it. So I think it's exciting times for growth. You know, and when we come back, we're going to be revamped. We're going to be re-energized, and we hope to deliver something that captivates and keeps everybody entertained and growing. More perspective into the future. But for now, man, that's all. That's all we have, man. We're gonna wrap it up, man. And I mean, you know, I don't know if you guys got anything y'all want to say closing out, man. But it's the end of season 1, man.
I'm really hoping and looking forward to season 2. Come back and feeling good. These conversations this is my connection. You know, these conversations have certainly helped me overcome a lot of shit, man. You know, legal system, loss of someone very close to me, even just unraveling and unscrambling the shit up here, man. Been able to talk better with anybody around me, and have something to talk about, because, you know, lots of times people aren't willing to open up, but then they see me up on this podcast and they're like, yo, he's kind of cool. I can open up to him. And then we talk about dope shit all the time. And then I know that the connection here for me has been impactful, man. So I'm hoping season 2 is very powerful, because season one was it. I'm looking forward to season 2.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to season 2 too. You know, I'm gonna be learning. In this off season. I want to be able to learn some things that I could bring back to the podcast. That I could share with you guys, my brothers. That we could put out, to the people. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing some research and learning more things that could be useful to us as a whole. Like I definitely see it as a good opportunity to pick up on some stuff on both ends, on the front end and on the back end. So
Exactly.
it's going to be productive. Like we ain't going to be just chilling in this off season.
Word up.
Yeah. Hopefully you be seeing our social media feeds busier than ever, man.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah, but
nice.
that's
Yep.
the plan, man. Let's get busy in the off season, man.
Do it.
All right.
All right. So, with that said, man, for all y'all that came through and let us borrow your time, we will see you season 2. Peace of your mind.
Season 2.
Much love.